switching major gears here. What sparked your interest in software engineering?
All right. So that's, I would say that was like very natural to me. Like since I was, well, let me explain. So since I was a kid, like I would always be disassembling toys, computers, switching hardware, and like just messing with things and playing video games, of course. So when I decided to do university and I was between electrical engineering and computer engineering, so it was like it felt very natural to me to take that direction. And then before finishing my degree, I actually started working, which is very common here in Uruguay, that most
Okay.
people start working much earlier than they graduate. So as I started working, and this was at a product company, I started seeing all the challenges that entail shipping a software product, and not only the technical aspects, but also the the soft skills and the people that the team that you need to be able to deliver that. So there are a lot of challenges, and it's very complex and very interesting. It's a whole field, software engineer. So I got I know that I started developing a passion for processes and in software in development, and it's something that I really enjoyed. And well, I knew that I wanted to pursue that path.
That's awesome. So what, like in the information age that we live in, what's the role of like software engineers and how do you see it evolving in the future?
Right. So
Big question.
that that's a very interesting question. And the thing that has changed the most over the last decades is that each decade, more industries depend more heavily on software. So that's something that most people are realizing now, if they haven't over the last decade at least. But many industries that probably some decades ago were seeing software as something so far from them, actually I realized that uh, it's very important and that it has impacted their industry. So there are many cases that have happened in the industry, like Uber, Airbnb, all these delivery platforms that they have disrupted their spaces.
Mhm.
and and well, for example, in the taxi industry, they probably did not see that coming until it came.
Yeah. Or
And
hotel chains and things like
yeah,
that, I'm sure.
yeah, and the thing with software is that it can have a very profound impact in the software that they disrupt. So, and each time, like with the pandemic, it happened the same. Like for many employers and many industries that they were not so connected with software and tech in general, they had to do some steps in order to allow remote workers and so on. And many employers had to adapt their business to be able to survive even
Yeah.
during this pandemic. So like for software engineers, there are as many different roles as there are industries and capabilities that they can do. So there are many different challenges in software that you can do really.
Yeah. So are you busier now with COVID? Because everybody's having to adapt and go remotely and do things more online in their computers, or is
Right.
it pretty much
You ask if
same?
I'm busy.
Yeah, busier. Yeah. You there?
Sorry,
Yeah,
it cut.
froze a little bit.
So you were asking if I've been busy, right?
Yeah. Are you busier now with COVID?
I
Because people
never
have
been
had to
busier.
adapt? Yeah.
Yeah, so uh, since COVID started, like I've been working a lot, really, and this started with COVID itself, because at the company I was working I was working at, we actually developed the mobile application for the country, for
Oh,
Uruguay. We were actually one of the first countries to have the mobile app available and integrating with Google's and Apple's API. So I actually stay at the company specifically to develop the first versions of this app, and it's been very successful. So that first month, we had the whole team working 24/7.
wow.
So it was very tough, and we launched the first version in just a week.
So
So
what app is this you said?
it's a coronavirus app for UI.
Oh, okay.
And so here in Uruguay, we had our first cases on March 13th of last year, and
Yeah,
on
so
March
that's
20th,
yeah.
we launched the app. So you can
Wow.
imagine the pressure that we had.
Yeah, congrats to
But
you for getting that done so quickly.
yeah, it was very successful. Even the company got letters from Tim Cook and Sundar Pichai themselves. So I think the company got a lot of recognition for that work.
Wow. So you're really interested in technology and you interact with it. You said you play video games and you like
Yeah, I
you're on
used to
computers a
play
lot, quite
video
a
games.
bit. Uh
I wish I could, but like I've noticed that like 5 years ago I just stopped it.
you stopped
And
playing video games 5 years ago?
right, yeah, I
Yeah.
played my whole life, but like 5 years ago, like I guess things change in your life, and like
Yeah.
you have other things now.
Yeah, I haven't played video games in like 10, 12 years maybe. But you're around technology a lot. Do you see what kind of trends do you see happening within society just being kind of in the tech industry?
Right, I think it's mostly what I was talking about earlier. There are industries that didn't have much contact with software, that were disrupted by these tech platforms that were created, like
Mhm.
Uber, Airbnb. And what they do is like they have a strong relationship with the consumers, and they offer a high value to the providers. And in many cases, that value is so strong, and they are so in contact with the consumers, that providers have no other choice but to go with them. And I've seen that happen in many industries now. So I think that that's a trend that's actually been talked quite a lot. They call it also the incumbent, and there's a lot of readings about it, and how powerful that can be. And many people are trying to, in the tech industry, are trying to do the same with other industries. Um, so that's I would say that's a very strong trend that has happened over this last decade.
Huh. So it's like if I'm trying to comprehend this, so it's almost like taking many industries that weren't tech savvy and now making them all kind of uh tech involved with tech in a way.
Well, I don't. The thing with tech is not like just putting software just because of it, for the sake of it,
Okay.
but because software enables you to do things that you cannot do with other forms, and it allows you to automate things in a way that you cannot do with other methods, and that's why these companies are able to create such a strong value.
So it's about value, using these new ways or new methods to add more value for customers and
Yeah,
users. Got it.
yeah, and these companies, like, they act as an intermediary between the consumers and the providers, and so from their side they have these two kind of very different users, and what they care to do the most is be really close to the consumers, which is basically the market. So they have the market, so they are able to then negotiate with the providers, and basically the price as far up as they can, once they have the market.
Huh. Interesting.